Hey guys, and in this video, let me tell you everything that you need to know about doing time warps with your GoPro. So first of all, what is a time warp? Basically guys, time warp is like a moving time lapse with Hypersmooth stabilization, so it's more dynamic in this way. And what's best about it is that it can be mountable, wearable or handheld. So please don't mistake it for time-lapse, because time-lapse is like a static shot where you are focusing on passing of time, like clouds, cars passing by, people walking, sunset, etc. So once again, you're focusing on the passage of time. You want your camera to be perfectly still, ideally on a tripod, and you don't want to move that camera completely at all. So in comparison guys, with time warp you're literally holding your camera in your hand and you're focusing on the motion. You're trying to get the dynamic shots, whether you're going towards a building or walking away from it or making a circle around it. Anyway, your camera is in motion, the same like you. So even if you shake your camera a little bit, it's forgiven because it's gonna be smoothened out with Hypersmooth stabilization. But first of all, let's have some basics. So ever since GoPro Hero 8 Black, we have this feature called the grid. And when you're recording a time warp, it's very important to keep your subject of interest exactly in the middle of your frame. And the grid, having this vertical and horizontal lines, is simply gonna help us to do so. And now let me quickly show you what kind of settings I personally use for my time warps. Okay, so I always use 4K resolution because I simply like that high resolution files. And lens, in this case I use linear and horizon leveling, but if you don't have Hero 9 Black you just can stick to linear. Speed, my personal favorite, gonna be 30 or 15. I never use auto, for me it's simply unpredictable and I don't rely on it. Next, if we scroll down, EV compensation, that's gonna be minus 0.5. White balance can be auto or 5500K. ISO minimum and maximum gonna be 100. Sharpness low, and GoPro color. These are the settings that I personally use when I'm recording my time warps, but feel free to of course experiment on your own and see what works for you the best. Alright guys, so we are at the location and as you guys see there is our point of interest at the end of the road. The whole idea how I'm gonna go for that shot is that I'm gonna stick to the middle of the road, as you guys see, and as I'm going to move forward I'm going to simply tilt the camera slightly higher. When you reach the end of your destination you can just do the opposite, so you tilt the camera down and then you just move backward, so it's simply gonna make a great effect. Now guys, let's take a look at some other examples. And as a small comparison guys, I'll record as I'm walking and approaching the shrine, and I'm going to approach it walking fast and walking slowly. I'm going to use also the same speed, that's gonna be 30, okay? So you're gonna have a basic understanding how it looks like. So guys, this is how it looks like when I'm walking normally. I'm trying to have the same pace, and I'm just approaching the building as if I did it normally. So I'm not walking too fast and I'm not walking too slowly, all right? But the main point is that I'm trying to have the same pace.
Alright guys, and this is how it looks like when I'm moving slowly, and in theory this should give me the best result because I'm moving slow obviously, yeah, but believe me that many times I had my time warps completely ruined from many trips when I try to doing it slowly. I thought it's gonna give me great results, but it always turned out that certain edges of buildings or other structures were simply shaking like crazy, and it took me a while to figure it out that it's better to simply move fast. And the second shot that we're gonna get in here, we're gonna be in a horizontal orientation, and the way that I'm going to approach this shot is going to be that I'm gonna be actually making a circle around it, so we'll see how that turns out to be. Alright, so as I said, we are going to set it to horizontal orientation. Let's see how it turns out.
And now let's take a look at some other examples. And now guys, let's take a look at the third technique. In this method, we're gonna walk along the road and have our point of interest on the other side. Then, what we do is simply tracking the object with my camera for the entirety of that walk. So when the object gonna be behind me, I'm gonna slightly turn around and just simply continue to record it. And the last technique for today, guys, is gonna be a little bit advanced, because what we're gonna do is literally rotate the camera as we're gonna move forward. And this technique, guys, is gonna be a little bit difficult to get, because what's important is to keep your camera exactly in the same place as you are moving forward. So I don't do it that often, but as soon as you see a really awesome location like in Inception, yeah? When I saw these columns and this long corridor, I just thought to myself, okay, let's do this. For me, I loved it. But as I said, it's quite a difficult one to get. Alright guys, for today's video that's it. I'm really happy that I managed to share these amazing tips with you, because making this video and working on it, it was really fun. Anyway guys, if you enjoyed this video and you learned something from it, then give me a thumb up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't before, smash that notification button so you see my future content, and see you guys in the next one.